but in a general sense, yeah, that's not the way that we do things, because it's just not, doesn't make sense, so to speak, from an ease standpoint.
Yeah.
So the paper money, or the receipts, become kind of the main form of currency. It's all backed by gold, which is a great system, right? Like it makes things really easy. Fast forward a bit, right? So that's how kind of things were going. Bearing in mind that we're really, even still today, right, we're dealing with a history where there are only, kind of relatively speaking, a few people that own most of the wealth, right?
Yes. Yeah.
That has been, unfortunately,
Consistent.
has been the case for a large period of time, kind of once the creation of empires and all those things, and
Power is kind of funneled to the top. Yeah.
yeah, even city states that where, yeah, power is exactly are get a little more centralized within a few people, right?
Yeah.
So there is a need for people who don't have as much to be able to kind of get started, or be able to buy things, or whatever it may be, right? Maybe you don't have access to anything. Maybe you yourself have you can provide a service, but maybe the only way to provide that service is you need to get a certain tool or something like that. So you need to get, like, kind of started with your entrepreneurial experience, right? Like, in that sense.
Yeah.
And so this is kind of, again, we've already talked about the receipts being used as a bit of like that IOU, right? Similar to like cuneiform tablets.
It's now replaced it, but it's backed with the gold that's actually there.
Yes.
You switched your bartering items now for a form of currency.
Correct. And so, going off of this idea that there are some people that don't have but need to get kind of the local currency to get their lives started. This is kind of the creation of what's known as institutional lending, right? Excuse me.
Yeah, like a business loan. Yeah.
Yeah. And so what it means by like institutional lending, I mean, obviously most of us know what that is. A bank, for instance, is an institution nowadays that we go to the bank and we get a loan from them, right?
Yeah.
Institutional lending is exactly that still at this point. The difference is that they're going to goldsmiths to get that wealth.
Wealth. Yeah.
So that loan, you go to your local goldsmith. So whatever, someone comes to me and I'm a goldsmith, and they say like, "Hey, can I get a loan for X amount?" Right?
Yeah.
And so I can choose to give them the physical bag of gold. But we've already kind of established that nobody wants the physical gold, right?
Gold.
I want to have the value of that, but I don't want to carry that around.
Yeah.
Excuse me. So what I do instead, of course, is I write you a receipt that says I've lent you a loan of this amount of gold.
Value of gold. Yeah. 20, whatever. Yeah.
And of course, you, whenever you need the gold, come get it from me, type of situation. But and you have to pay back this kind of interest on it, right? And so what I would do is I'd have to have that written out. You would take that, you'd go on your way, you'd be able to purchase a bunch of things, because again, the paper can be, maybe you come back to me and like split it up into multiple papers, so it's like, I want 2 coins per paper or something like that.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Really,
So you're not trying to just trade this one piece of paper for everything. And so that system works up until a point, because what happens is I, as a goldsmith, realize that, hey, I can lend out my money, or sorry, the gold, with paper where I don't really have to show or physically give you any kind of gold. So you have no idea what's in my gold vault, right?
Yeah.
And I get to make money off of giving you, hypothetically lending you gold, where you're going to pay me back interest on over time. That kind of situation, I guess, leads to greed kind of taking
wheel. Yeah.
Yeah, like it unfortunately it takes the main aspect of the gold currency industry. So what happens is that, let's say I have, I don't know, 100 gold pieces, like gold coins in my vault that I actually physically have. And that might be a mixture of gold that is mine. It also might be a mixture of gold that you, Jordan, you deposited earlier
Left in
with
the
me,
bank. Yeah.
right? Yeah. And so I say to myself, okay, a bunch of people are coming to me. They want to loan out. They want to loan for 10 gold pieces, right? So, or even maybe they want 100. I don't know. And so what I say is like, okay, I can, because I know that you're not coming to get your gold anytime soon, and the
Yes.
other
Yeah.
person down the street is also not probably going to come get their gold anytime soon, because really everyone loves this idea of paper money, so it's not a big deal. Why don't I loan out the entire amount that I have in my vault? So I loan out 100 gold pieces. So I have 100 gold pieces. I've now loaned out 100 gold pieces, but the 100 gold pieces that I had in my vault in the first place were already spoken for.
Correct.
So not only were they spoken for, but you are going around and spending that gold.
Correct.
Because you're using your receipts to whatever, buy milk.
Whatever it is.
Yeah, whatever it is, buy some clothes. And so that 100 gold coins is now worth 200 gold coins, let's say. Right? Because it was already spoken for, and I've now loaned it out to another whatever
third
10
party,
people.
Yeah,
or third party, whatever. It doesn't matter amount of people. It just matters the amount that we're talking about here. So that's now 200, and then it goes even further. So maybe I've even, not only did I loan out the entire amount, but maybe I did it again without even getting any more in. So now I've loaned out 200 gold coins, and then another 100 gold coins that were already spoken for. So now that same 100 gold coins is now worth excuse me, is now worth 300 gold
300
coins.
gold coins, yeah.
Right? And so on and so forth, right?
Down the chain it goes, yeah.
Yeah, and it really comes down to that idea of like, if I don't get caught, right? Like, I'm going to just keep on doing this, going, right?
Yeah.
And so that works, so to speak. There's obviously inherent issues with that from a standpoint of the gold, again, you got to remember, is valued based off of the amount of gold that exists, right?
Yeah.
So the amount of gold that's in circulation based off of the total, like the physical weight versus the amount of like coins, like how it's divided up, so to speak.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. There's only so much physical gold. If you now have created kind of 3x to your gold type of thing out of nowhere, then the value of that gold kind of doesn't equate. It's not 1-for-1 anymore, right?
Yeah.
You now that made that coin worth a third of what it's worth.
Correct, because you've lent it out now.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
However, yeah, obviously it depends on how many times over you're lending it all out, but you get the idea. So that, of course, major red flags right there in itself, but people don't notice that. Not really right away, because of the fact that the average person is really just, hey, I'm buying a thing of milk here, or I'm buying a, a some clothes. So it's little one-off, smaller things. It's not large purchases that you
You're gonna
may
notice it.
see
Yeah.
or feel a little close to home nowadays. Not to jump too far ahead with things, but yeah. So yeah, you're the value of things kind of goes under the radar. But it's not until, of course, when or Jordan, you come back to me and then you say, hey, I'd actually like to take out some of my physical gold. um
Yes.
I maybe you have to buy something that the person that you're buying it from wants the physical gold, or maybe you're moving. Maybe you're planning on going to another place and you're like, hey, I
I
gotta take
gotta
my gold
take.
out.
I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, like I need to. I want to have the physical gold so I can go spend it and deposit it somewhere else,
Where you're going
right?
to? Yeah.
Yeah, move into a new city state or whatnot, right?
Yeah.
So you come to do that to me, and let's say you do that, and I don't know, one or two others do it, right? And let's say that total is now like, let's say between the four of you, you have the value of 120 gold
Okay.
coins, right?
Yeah.
Not even 300, not even 200, just 120. And we already talked about in our scenario here that I only have 100 gold coins
Coins.
physically
Yeah.
on me.
Yeah.
But you all have come to me for different reasons, doesn't really matter. But you want your physical gold. Well, I'm 20 gold coins short,
Yeah.
right? So when you guys all come to me and I can't give you your gold coins, right? It's different if just maybe you came to me, you wanted 30 gold coins, nobody knows then, right?
Yes. Yeah.
I can cover that. But when I can't cover the
The
loans
whole lot. Yeah.
that yeah, or the deposits or whatever, right? Like, cuz even a person that has a loan may want the physical gold coins to go purchase something, right? Like at the end of the day, um it doesn't matter whether it's you're a depositor or you're like a credit,
If you're
like
withdrawing.
taking things
Yeah.
on loans. um you may come to me, I don't have the ability to pay that, and that's what causes the kind of um first ever idea of what's known today as a bank run.